Morning and welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so for today we are going to be starting off with the gold for the day. This is because basically my auctions run out in a bit, and yeah, well, I want to actually do the gold for the day now, which is a healthy 9,395 gold. The things of note that are actually sold are compendiums. That is the Compendium of Storms, Swirling Tides and Sundering. The Storms one is 1,326 gold, the Swirling Tides is 1,150 gold, and the Sundering is a 1,436 gold. The rest of the stuff is like Imperium, Aquamarine, Glyph of Rising Tiger Kick and all that jazz. That's 9,300 and odd gold, which brings us up to a healthy total of roughly 1,030,284 gold overall. So that's quite nice to have in our bags at the moment in time. So now we've just got to jump over and have a look at our transmog. Yes, I have decided that I will be going over my transmog every Monday. So that being the case, let's jump over to our other banker. Okay, so the next clean out is 23,093 gold. The things of note that I've actually sold is Uncanny, of course. That's the Etched Vessel, which you get from Inscription for 2,565 gold. They make a lot of gold overall. That's like they're really actually quite good at selling. The other thing is Overlord's Van Bracers of the Aurora, 1,142 gold. That's like a compendium sold for transmog wise. Load of low tier transmogs coming in, selling quite well, like the Myrmidon's Girdle and the Mercurial Cloak. All that stuff, all the low tier stuff, it's all adding up rather well, so doing exactly what I wanted. And we also sold Razorfang Gauntlets, which is a 120 green item which I just had laying around, which I posted and has actually sold for 12,215 gold. Very happy with that right there. The next things of note that we actually sold was Uncanny, again 1,484 for the leather gauntlets. The Uncanny Combatants Satin Boots, 1,172 gold, and the Uncanny Combatants Satin Boots once again. All of the other stuff that has actually sold is all low tier transmog, which has all added up towards our net total, which is 23,093 gold. I'm actually pretty damn happy with all of that. I'm very happy right there. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably send over about 20,000 gold over towards my other character, depending on how much we've got left over, which is a nice 29,491 gold in our bags. So what I'll do is I will send over 20,000 gold, and we'll send 20,000 gold over to Giblet, bringing our total up to a healthy 1,050,000 gold. So then we can just check our auction house and see where we're at the moment for our transmog. And the thing that we've got at the moment is we've sold a few more patterns, like the Lunar Eclipse. We've got 670 items on the auction house at a value of 1,206,860. We need more. We need at least 2,000 items on the auction house in order to get regular daily sales, so to boost those numbers up. So what I plan on doing thus far is to just build up our stockpile. So that being the case, let's have a look at what I've been farming. So today we have been farming up in the Mana Tombs. I thought I'd give it a little go, and actually it was surprisingly very good. So what I've actually managed to gather up, if we go into our mobile banking, and we can have a gander at what we actually managed to get a hold of, which is we actually got some Eternium lock boxes, which you get from the dungeon, of course. We got 3 of those. The vial of the next tab is all of the other additional loots. We actually got an enchant of potency, which is on the auction house currently at a value of 7,595 gold, along with a load of different types of green items valuing anywhere from like really low to actually really high, like the Berserker Axe with Aurora, 983 gold. That's really good. and BC dungeons are amazing for making a decent amount of gold overall. So let's have a look at what we all got. We also got one BOE blue, which is the Braxis Staff of Slumber, which is worth not an awful lot. That is because most BC dungeons actually get their transmog value through their green items as opposed to the blue items when it comes to really the vanilla type dungeons. So that's something you may want to bear in mind, because you get a higher volume of green items of that, so therefore you're going to win with volume in BC dungeons for transmog selling. When it comes to like vanilla dungeons, they could like a good overall, but you're mainly going for those high ticket items. So the other things of note is we actually got quite a decent amount of stuff. We got Primal Shadow, surprisingly enough, 5 of those through just killing the mobs in there, because like shadow demons and all that stuff. We also mined, because we ran it on my miner. One of the bosses is actually mineable, and he tends to drop the golden dranite, which actually sells quite well, and that is used to make the flying carpet on your tailor, so that's really handy. We also got lesser planar essence from that as well, because that drops inside the dungeon as well, so that's really good. It's at a 0.1 sell rate, very good, and the gold value is like 44 silver, but it will add up obviously. And then a load of other different types of gems that you get along with this, and as well as that we also got 1,339 netherweave cloth. So that being the case, not too bad overall. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to jump inside, and I'm going to show you how I run it. Now when you're actually in the mana tombs, I tend to actually go for a standard amount, which is I could do 3 main pulls. And let's just move that over there. He's going to attack me. These Crypt Raiders do have a tendency to charge you and stun you. Now what you can do is just run straight to the boss, and he will actually pull all of the mobs in the room for you. So you don't have to gather any of these guys up. If you just run and attack the boss, they'll all start attacking you. And obviously we just got some Primal Shadow, well, motes of Shadow through that. So we actually got 3 of those. So that's not too bad. Just bear in mind for the Crypt Raiders, as they do use charge. I like to soothe that group over here, and they do have a tendency to use slowing effect abilities, but you get used to it after you've run it a couple of times. Now I'm going to slow the group on the right hand side as they'll start to follow, and I'll wait for Tiger's Dash to come off of cooldown. At this point I will then use Tiger's Dash and run around the right hand side, just like how I did it in the last video. As all of the mobs will tend to run and follow me, they'll gather all of the other mobs on the left hand side where I don't have to do anything. I run around the wall to cut off the casters, so they have to come around to me, and what I can do is I can soothe the boss so he can run over to me as well. And what I'll be doing is I can just immediately burn down all of these mobs, kill the boss, and not a problem overall. These guys don't actually drop anything, so we can just loot straight away. And what we can actually do there is we can do that, loot up all of our stuff. We got quite a lot of bits, and we'll mine the boss. He actually drops a load of lesser planar essence and all that stuff through the mining, and he drops like shadow dranite and all that stuff. So that's like additional loot if you run it on your miner. So bear in mind with that, you can also check the adamantite deposits to see if you can actually get a Kyperium deposit, and what you can actually do there is you can then do that. So obviously I would like to pull this group. Just bear in mind that if you use Soothe, don't get yourself cut off, which I've just done. So I've made a mistake, so you don't have to, I guess. And I soothe the other guy in this room. Now the Crypt Raiders will tend to stun you around about here, yep, as predicted, and pretty much they'll start pulling everything in the zone. The Crypt Raiders only charge you once per character, so as many Crypt Raiders as you have. You pull that group over there, and you do not have to pull these mana worms, because all you have to do is just run to the boss, and the mana worms will start coming over to you, just like with the first boss. Now all you have to do there is just burn them all down, and then just do your looting. But bear in mind that your mana worms do take a little while to get to you. But all of these guys drop a decent amount of gold. Obviously I didn't run this really super fast, but we actually got a transmog item. We got an axe, which is a silver moon crescent axe of the quick blade. Now bear in mind with that one, you have to be careful when it comes to BC transmog, as the values can be a bit skew with. So the min buyout is 1,300 gold, but the market value is 219. Don't get yourself mixed up whenever you do that, as the min buyout can be a bit different. But overall, just be aware that some of the values on some of these transmogs for BC in particular are kind of fake values, so you have to bear that one in mind when you're actually posting that to the auction house. So when it comes to BC transmog, I tend to sell through historical value than all of the others. So what I'll do is I'll sell my trash, and then all I have to do is then just to clean that up and vendor all of the stuff I don't need, so all of the soul-bound items, so any of those from all of the bosses, and overall we can then see what we've actually got for that run. Not an awful lot, but still pretty damn good, so we'll just value that. The total value is 1,653 gold, based upon Worth It's valuer. If I wanted to do it through historical value, it's actually 1,128 gold, so that's something you may want to bear in mind right there if you want to price check it, so to speak. I go with DB historical as I find that to be the most helpful. So that being the case, that's pretty much all I have done today. Other than that guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.